Good afternoon and welcome to the February 24th, 2026 meeting of the Georgetown County Council. Please take this time to silence your cell phones so we can all be present for the information to be presented to us. Note for the record, we do have a quorum present. Please join us as Councilor Bishop Cooper leads us in the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Gracious and ever-present God, we gather tonight as steward of Georgetown County. Help us to approach our work with empathy, patience, and share a commitment to the common good. Guide us to address the need with fairness, to repair what harm has been done, and to celebrate the vibrant history of the ongoing contribution of the Black community and family through this Black History Month. As we reflect on the legacy of the late Reverend Jesse Jackson, who devoted his life to justice, voting right, and lifting the voice of the marginalized, inspired us to carry forward the movement, inspired us that we are somebody, and to keep hope alive in our communities and our surroundings. So may tonight, as we come together as one, help us to be in unity tonight. Help us to be reminded of how far you have brought us. But we look to you, and we are standing in hope, and we are trusting the faith. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you. We move now to the approval of the agenda. As the chair will entertain a motion to approve the meeting agenda as published. So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second? Second. Second by Councilor Charlton. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The agenda is approved. We move down to special reports and presentation. Our first special report is a nonprofit spotlight. Mingo Creek Academy, Georgetown County, Francis P. Burnell Foundation are partnering to spotlight a local nonprofit at each county council meeting. This week's featured nonprofit is Mingo Creek Academy. Ms. Kamalisha Pyatt is presenting. Ms. Pyatt, you have the floor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. Mingo Creek Academy at Terre Hall. We are located in the western part of Georgetown County on the beautiful campus of the former Terre Hall School Home for Boys. Now, we are unique, but we're not so unique that we're so much different from other organizations like ours in our county. What's more so unique about us is that we are the only nonprofit preschool in the western part of Georgetown County who serves students and children under school age. About our preschool, in 2021, Terre Hall Home for Boys Board of Directors decided that that season was over and it was time to start anew. And so they came up with the idea of starting the preschool, a nonprofit private preschool in the western part of Georgetown County, where we serve students from age 1.5 to age 5 years old. Okay. Our mission is simple. We give our youngest learners in the Carvers Bay attendance zone of Georgetown County School District a solid foundation for their educational journey. You would not believe how important that is. As a former middle school principal, I know how important it is for students to have, for children to have a foundation. What sets us apart from other preschools in that area is the credentials that are required for our teachers. Also, another thing that sets us apart is the legacy. I know where all of our children came from because chances are I taught either their mother, their father, Some of them even their grandmothers, believe it or not. We have a whole child and family approach to our program. Children must be exposed to certain things before they begin their public school education. We use what we call the creative curriculum, and we introduce students to language and literacy, math, social emotional, before they even reach the age of kindergarten. And if nothing else is more important in today's society with our children is social emotional development, especially since the COVID years. Like I told you earlier, we are housed on the beautiful campus of the former Terre Haute Home for Boys. Our students are exposed to the gardening. We have gardens out there. They are exposed to environmental learning. We do a lot of going outside. That is one of the things that our children are missing these days, is having some outdoor time. So we are exposing them to outdoor learning experiences that are licensed by DSS. Okay. The benefits to the family in the western part of Georgetown County is that we are affordable. We're nonprofit. So the minimum amount that they can pay, the minimum amount is not comparative to the preschools, daycares that you would normally see for profit. And that's one of the biggest difference. Parents can afford, and if they can't afford, we figure it out. We ask for donations and we ask somebody else to pay for them because children need to be exposed. We have partners in our community that help us with strengthening our program. We are partnering with the Carvers Bay Library. The bookmobile comes out to our children. Our Georgetown County Parks and Recreation at the Choppee Center. Caleb comes out and work with our kids sometimes. The Tamsburg Family Foundation supports our family by giving them donations at Christmas. Black River United Way is one of our biggest supporters. We get lots and lots and lots of partnerships through them. Okay. As I said earlier, as a middle school principal, what I found is when we get students in the 6th grade, we cannot teach them the fundamental, basic things that they need. They need to get it before they get to 1st grade. And when they don't get it before they get in 1st grade, they never get caught up. They will graduate high school behind. And so we try to address those needs long before that happens. Our organizational impact. We opened in 2021, and we've served 75 students from 2021 up to until present. Now, we're only licensed for 40. Since our opening, 64% of the students who participate are 4K First Step students where we get funding from the state for. I will dare not say that we are the only ones doing what we are doing at Mingo Creek Academy at Terre Haute, but I will definitely tell you we're the only one doing it in the western part of Georgetown County. I invite you all to stop by. I appreciate coming to County Council to see all of you, but I invite you all to come by and see what's going on at the Terre Haute campus. We're just on a little section of that 11 acres. We're located in District 5, and I think Mr. Newman, I think you are our councilman, so we invite you to come visit us. And that's all I have. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Pyatt. Are there any questions for Ms. Pyatt?
Yes. Ms. Pyatt, my question, creative curriculums. Can you give us an example of the creative curriculum? My first question. And also you made mention of reducing barriers. Give us an example of those barriers that have been reduced for the ages of 1.5 to 5 years old.
Okay, first of all, creative curriculum is a curriculum that we adopted through 4K First Step. And what it is, it's basically learning through play. And we have a script, our teachers have a scripted curriculum that they use, that they make, literacy and math are the big components of those, of that curriculum. And the other question was about the barriers.
Yes.
You asked what barriers did we address?
Yes, when you say you're reducing the barriers, help us, give us a prime example of how those barriers are being reduced.
Okay, so one of the things we find, especially in our rural communities, is our children are not exposed to education until they have to go to kindergarten. Some of them will go to Head Start, lots of them will go to Head Start, but Head Start usually starts at 3 years old. We take them before 3-year-olds. Those students have, most of the time, what you find the barrier is, they're usually home with someone, usually a grandparent, an aunt, and it could be an older cousin, somebody who is just going to be the caretaker for that child. And they are not addressing any of the cognitive skills that a child would need to begin with. So what we do is, some of the barriers is, we have to go get some of them. We have students who come to us from Georgetown. We have a bus, and we pick them up because we cannot do anything for them if we can't get them. We also have kids who live right around where we are, who don't attend our school. We try to get parents to get them to come because, like I said, I know who my people are. I live in the area. I was principal and teacher to a lot of the parents that we serve, and so I already know what's lacking in a lot of the areas we address.
Thank you so much for sharing those barriers, and I wanted those to be shared because I think now it can allow others to say, we really want to invest in what's being done. And it has, you've been doing this now since 2021, for the
Yes,
most
sir.
part? And so we commend you on what you're doing.
Okay,
Keep moving.
Okay, and I'll leave my Cash App for Mingo Creek Academy.
Ms.
Please
Pine,
do, please do. Thank you.
I've got a question. Got a question down here.
Counselor Anderson.
Ms. Pine, I've got a question, and you don't have to get back up at the podium. I just want to ask you, we've got 5-year-olds, and recently I've been hearing a lot about us not teaching cursive anymore. You've been teaching all your life. Just tell me quickly, what do you think? Should we start teaching cursive to these kids again or not?
I don't even have to answer as an educator. I promise you, yes, sir, Mr. Anderson. My youngest child is 30 years old. He can cursive right, but anybody below that, if I ask them for a signature, they print their name. And I say, no, I need you to sign your name. I definitely agree that we need to.
Are we going to turn this around at your school?
Well, we don't write.
I'm putting you on the spot here, but we got to start somewhere.
Gotta wait a little longer.
Thank you so much.
Counselor Anderson, that's how we're going to rule the world. We can write in cursive, they can't read it. We're giving up our secrets now. Thank you, Ms. Pyatt. Are any further questions or comments for Ms. Pyatt? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for everything you do for Georgetown County. We move down to our request to rename the Northwest Regional Recreational Field Complex at Pleasant Hill in honor of R.L. Port. We have a report from Ms. Beth Goodall, our Director of Recreation and Community Services, and Mr. Austin Beard.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, I am here this evening on behalf of the Pleasant Hill Baseball Softball Booster Club, and I'm so honored to be here to make this presentation. They are respectfully requesting approval to rename the Northwest Regional Fields at Pleasant Hill in honor of R.L. Port. And you have a full in your packet, a full write-up on why they believe this is so important to do, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But R.L. Port was far more than a supporter of youth sports. For decades, he was the steady presence behind baseball and softball in Pleasant Hill. And in the rural community, he helped ensure that children had a place to learn, grow, and belong. To Mr. Port, baseball and softball was more than the games. They were the classrooms without walls. On those fields, young people learned discipline. They learned teamwork, perseverance, and respect. And parents trusted him. Coaches relied on him, and generations of players looked up to him. His impact, though, reached far beyond Pleasant Hill, and in 2009, he was inducted into the Dixie Softball Hall of Fame and is credited with helping to bring organized softball not only to Pleasant Hill, but to South Carolina. Perhaps most importantly, though, he seeked no recognition. His legacy lives on every time a child steps onto those fields and hears encouragement from the sidelines. Renaming Northwest Regional Fields in his honor ensures that future generations will know the name of the man who helped build the foundation for youth baseball and softball in Pleasant Hill, Georgetown, and beyond. We appreciate your consideration. And Austin Beard also knew R.L. very well and would like to make a few comments.
Before Mr. Beard speaks, I'd like to ask you, we've got two of these renaming things going on here tonight, and I remember some time ago, we changed our protocol for how we did this. Is this still following the same protocol?
Yes, sir. We lost Mr. Port just after Christmas. He did make it to be the Grand Marshal in the Pleasant Hill Christmas Parade, and we lost him shortly after the parade.
But I'm speaking of, can we, this is within our bounds to name this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Pleasant Hill, they want to name the field complex within the Northwest Regional Park. They want to name the field complex, which really doesn't have its own name in honor of R.L. Port.
So it's just one part of the complex?
Yes, sir.
And I thought that was, I remembered that's the way we were doing this.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Mr. Beard, you're up, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of council. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to speak to this particular issue. Both of these are very dear and near to me. One in particular that Ms. Goodall has mentioned about the renaming of the fields for Mr. Port. I realize I'm preaching to the choir. And I don't mean to belabor the point. I know when I was on council, we always had a little trepidation about naming something after somebody. I can assure you, these two individuals that are being considered tonight, you don't have to worry about. I had the privilege of working with Mr. Port and Ms. Linnen, but particularly Mr. Port, for a number of years. And as I'm sure Mr. Councilman Newton will agree, on more than one occasion, I sat down in that restaurant and received a lecture on how local government was to work. I was privileged to speak at his funeral. And during that time, I don't know why, but I recall a movie that we normally see at Christmas called It's a Wonderful Life. And Jimmy Stewart played a character who felt like he had no meaning in life. His life was useless. And I couldn't help but think about R.L. What if we had had no R.L.? Those kids who are now adults would not have had the opportunity to play ball and make memories that have lasted a lifetime. So I urge you, and if I may speak to Ms. Linnen as well, in my mind, there is nobody in this world who could have taken that facility at Choppee and made it what it is today other than Ms. Florene Linnen. That was her calling in life. She made it her business to improve the quality of life for the people living in that area. So I urge you both, on both accounts, to please vote in the affirmative. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beard and Ms. Goodall. You've heard the report from Ms. Goodall and Mr. Beard for the request to rename Northwest Regional Recreational Field Complex at Pleasant Hill in honor of Mr. R.L. Port. Chair will entertain a motion on the request.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the request.
You've heard a motion from Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say just a couple things.
Councilor Newton.
One, thank you, Ms. Goodall and Mr. Beard for your kind comments. But I want to correct one thing. First time I met Mr. Port, said, Mr. Port, very nice to meet you. First thing he said was, my name is not Mr. Port, it is R.L. So please call me R.L. from here on, and I always called him R.L. That's what he liked to be referred to. At his, I'm gonna just mention one story that I thought was, said everything there was to say about one man. And I heard it at his funeral, and I've never heard this story before, but his son was friends with another young man growing up in Pleasant Hill, and the young boy come from not a perfect home. So when he graduated high school, he spent a lot of time with RL's family. And when the boy graduated, he decided the best thing was to go in the military, get away from everything he had been involved with. And he went out to, I think it was Fort Knox, Kentucky. And if any of you know anything about military graduations, once you graduate from boot camp, a lot of the family members come to see it. It's a big parade, a lot of fancy stuff going on, a lot of marching, a lot of military pageantry. And a lot of the families were there to congratulate their sons that were graduating. And he said after they had broke formation and all the family members were coming up to speak to their sons, he just stood there because he knew his parents would probably not be there. And all of a sudden, he looked across the crowd, and here comes a tall man that he recognized from Pleasant Hill. And it was R.L., and in tow with R.L. was his parents. He drove them all the way to Kentucky to see their son graduate from boot camp in the military. And he didn't have to. He did it out the kindness of his heart. And I had the pleasure of knowing him for a short period of time compared to a lot of people, especially in the Pleasant Hill area, the Georgetown area. But he was one of the finest individuals I had ever met. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Newton.
Mr. Chairman, I've got a word too.
Councilor Anderson.
The first time I ever met RL was when I came in on council in January of 2011. And it didn't take long for me to understand that he was going to be my mentor for the western side of the county. And he remained that until the day he died. And I was blessed to have him as a mentor, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Councilor Anderson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, the chair, all in favor of the request to rename Northwest Regional Recreational Field Complex at Pleasant Hill in honor of R.L. Port, please raise your hand. All opposed? The request is approved. Move down to the request to rename Choppee Regional Resource Center in honor of Ms. Florene Linnen. Ms. Goodall, you have the floor.
Again, I'm honored to be here tonight to make this presentation. This one is on behalf of many, many community members and friends who Ms. Florene Linnen impacted over her lifetime. We respectfully request approval to rename the Choppee Regional Resource Center in her honor. Florene Linnen was a deeply respected community leader. She was a tireless advocate for rural families in Choppee, Dunbar, Browns Ferry communities, and beyond. She was an advocate for all of Georgetown County, and beyond that even. For over 5 decades, she dedicated her life to improving health outcomes and expanding opportunities for residents who historically lacked access to care. In 2000, Ms. Linnen led a comprehensive community health needs assessment, and that assessment revealed significant disparities within Georgetown County's African American population. These included higher premature death rates, higher diabetes rates, 5 times greater than county averages. These findings were not just statistics, they were her call to action. And that set the fire, which led her to work tirelessly to ensure that these items were addressed. And she knew that the Choppee Regional Campus, the old Choppee High School campus, was where these items needed to be addressed. And she worked tirelessly to find the funding. She worked tirelessly to contact council and state delegates and federal delegates and hospitals and anybody that would listen. I know some of you sitting up there probably heard those pitches many, many times. Many people heard those pitches. I know Marvin here has been part of that initiative. But because of her leadership and her persistence, the Choppee Regional Resource Center opened in March of 2025. And if you were there that day, it was an amazing day, a huge celebration. And that campus kicked off from there and truly became what she intended it to be, the heart of the northwest part of Georgetown County. Since that time, the center has become the cornerstone of the community. Health and community engagement happen there every day. The community and the county has received multiple awards, statewide and federal awards, and it has evolved into a vibrant hub serving residents of all ages. Naming this facility the Florene Linnen Choppee Regional Resource Center would permanently honor her foundational role, her vision for health equity, and the lasting impact she made on rural Georgetown County. The designation ensures her legacy continues to inspire future generations, and we would be grateful if you would vote in the affirmative. And I think Marvin has a few words to add to that as well.
Again, good evening. I don't think there's a whole lot left to add to it, but there's a few things. The All-American County Award that Ms. Florene Linnen and myself and Mr. Goodall and Mr. Johnny Morant and several other councilmen, Mr. Thomas Drayton, that went to Atlanta during that time, which really brought that award back to Georgetown, where we won for the All-American County Award for South Carolina. So it speaks significant of her contribution to the county here. Her legacy lived not just in the group she founded, but in the countless hearts she has touched, the lives she has improved, and the inspiration she has left on all of us. Ms. Florene acquired over 4,000 signatures just to anchor the opportunity to save that facility out there, along with going to the U.S. Congress and advocating for the health center there, where she brought back, I think it was the first $600,000 during that movement. So her legacy lives on. The walking trails that she advocated for throughout the county, so just countless walking trails. Her heart was in walking trails and making sure people get out and live healthy. Community gardens that she advocated, that's still going on right now in Georgetown County. Health revivals. You know, she was a holistic person about health, and her spirit deems that and stuff through the work that she have done. Reached 2010, she changed it. The Georgetown County School District, the snacks and healthy drinks within the district under Dr. Randy Dozier during that time. So there's countless things that she have done that really impact the entire county here as a whole and surrounding counties. And I know Louis Morant, he's sitting there aching, wanting to say something, but I think I'm trying to say everything so he won't get to say anything. So, but he was leading those marches, him and his brother Johnny Morant, and even Dr. Dozier. I mean, serving at the banquets and stuff. I mean, we just had just a solid communication and family atmosphere within Georgetown. Georgetown was the highest amputation rate in the county when I retired from the military in 1997. And that's what inspired me to join Ms. Florene Linnen and the Georgetown County Diabetes Core Group. And there was several advocacy legends that we worked with also with Reach 2010, Ms. Carolyn Jenkins out of MUSC. I mean, just there was no area that was untouched from the cotton field to the White House. That was her legacy. And she wrote a book and speaking to her life and the things that she have done. So I support this opportunity to name the Resource Center after Ms. Florene Linnen. Thank you for your time.
Thank you both. Are there any questions for Mr. Neal or Ms. Goodall? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion to rename the Choppee Regional Resource Center in honor of Ms. Florene Linnen.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I move that we approve the request to rename Choppee Regional Resource Center in honor of Florene Linnen.
Thank you, Councilor Morant. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Mercado. Is there any discussion?
Chair.
Reverend Bishop Cooper.
I want to have a comment within the discussion if possible.
Absolutely.
I don't have a question, but what I would like to say, our ministry has been a part of the Choppee community for 55 years, since 1971. I've seen numerous of people, but Ms. Linnen, she stood far beyond and above. And I could not let that moment go by without stating that. And I wrote something really briefly, I wrote down. She had a passion, but she redefined the word passion. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Councilor Morant.
As Marvin has stated, I think he has stated basically everything, so obviously my time would be very short. He has covered all the points, but I do want to emphasize that Ms. Linnen was a strong advocate throughout Georgetown County, the western part of the community, and she advocated for health for all people. And one of the things she's done also that wasn't mentioned here is that she spearheaded that Brownsbury water, to make sure that we had clean water coming throughout that particular community. And she partnered with other organizations to assure that, which contributed to her health course, basically. So naming this facility in honor of Ms. Linnen is one of the better things which can occur, because with her insistence, we now have a healthcare facility in the western part of Georgetown County, with St. James Santee Health Center being there with medical doctors being in that facility, which we never had in that particular area before. So I think she's been a strong advocate for better health for all. And anyone can go to that particular facility, and I think the rates for service is kind of on a sliding scale in some respect. So she has done tremendous, and it would be a great honor to have that building name in her honor. So thank you, Marvin, Ms. Goodall, and everyone else who participated with this to have this building name in Ms. Linnen's honor.
Thank you, Councilor Morant. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of renaming the Choppee Regional Resource Center in honor of Ms. Florene Linnen, please raise your hand. All opposed? The request is approved. We will move down to proclamations and resolutions. Resolutions 2602, a resolution honoring Black History Month and recognizing the life and legacy of Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr. Ms. Jackie Broach, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, it is my pleasure to present this resolution honoring Black History Month and recognizing the life and legacy of the Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr. With your permission, I'll read the ordinance into the record.
Absolutely.
Whereas the month of February is recognized nationwide as Black History Month, a time to honor, celebrate, and reflect upon the rich history, achievements, and enduring contributions of African Americans to our nation, state, and local communities. And whereas Black History Month provides an opportunity to recognize the resilience, leadership, innovation, and cultural impact of African Americans throughout history, while also acknowledging the ongoing pursuit of equality, justice, and opportunity for all. And whereas the Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr. was a prominent civil rights leader, minister, and advocate for social justice who dedicated his life to advancing civil rights, economic empowerment, education, and voter engagement across the United States. And whereas Reverend Jackson worked alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the civil rights movement and went on to found organizations such as Operation Push and the Rainbow Coalition, promoting unity, opportunity, and peaceful advocacy for marginalized communities. And whereas throughout his life, Reverend Jackson championed the principles of nonviolence, civic participation, and equal opportunity, leaving a lasting impact on generations of Americans and helping to shape the ongoing dialogue surrounding civil rights and social progress. And whereas it is fitting and proper that we recognize both the significance of Black History Month and the enduring legacy of leaders like Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr., whose work helped move our nation closer to its founding ideals of liberty and justice for all. Now there be it resolved that the Georgetown County Council hereby recognizes February as Black History Month and encourages all residents to reflect upon and celebrate the contributions of African Americans to our shared history and future. Be it further resolved that the Georgetown County Council honors the life and legacy of the Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr., acknowledging his lifelong commitment to civil rights, equality, and service to others, and extends remembrance and respect in recognition of his contribution and to our nation. Adopted this 24th day of February, 2026.
Thank you, Ms. Broach. Are there any questions for Ms. Broach on Proclamation 2602? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion on Resolution 2602, a resolution honoring Black History Month and recognizing the life and legacy of Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the resolution number 2602, a resolution honoring Black History Month and recognizing the life and legacy of the Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr.
Thank you, Councilor Morant. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Bishop Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Resolution passes.
Mr. Chairman, if we could trouble you for a photo, Mr. Neal is here and would like to accept the resolution.
Absolutely. I washed my hair today.
Little bit you got left.
Would the NAACP representatives please come up for a group photo?
I get it.
I have to make a second row under the step right here so I can see everybody. Now, if you're short, you know you can't stand in the back. I go in the front. Place. You set the push.
right, we move down to Resolution 2603, affirming the rights and dignity of all. We have a report from our clerk to council's not here, so our ACA Ellis will give us a report on 2603.
I'm pinch hitting tonight, so I will provide a synopsis of Resolution 26-03. The year 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of the founding of our nation, and February 2026 is observed as Black History Month. In recognition of these significant milestones, the purpose of this resolution is to declare and reaffirm the commitment of Georgetown County Council to the principles of equality, human dignity, and inalienable rights for all persons without regard to race, color, sex, or religion, for the well-being of Georgetown County and its residents, and for the good and general welfare of our community. That's the gist of the resolution 26-3 for your consideration.
Thank you, ACA Ellis. Is there any questions for Mr. Ellis? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion on Resolution 2603, affirming the rights and dignity of all. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Bishop Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Resolution passes. Move down to public comments. A public comment period is included at each meeting and shall be limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, and no speaker may yield his or her allotted time to another speaker. A timer is provided on screen, and at the end of your time, please wrap up your comments promptly. While speaking, please be sure to address council only and refrain from personal attacks. Council will not respond to any questions during this period. While the speaker has the floor, the public will respect the speaker and allow them their time to address council. Members of the public who wish to address council during the public input period should sign up with the clerk to council before the meeting. ACA Ellis, do we have any speakers for tonight's meeting?
Mr. Chairman, there is one speaker. He will have 3 minutes, as you alluded, and the speaker is Mr. Jack Scoville.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and council members. I was really expecting a lot more hostility than this. I'm here to advocate for the purchase of the old Customs House. And listening to the praise given to R.L. Port reminded me of the first time I met R.L. I was appointed to the Georgetown County Planning Commission around 1980. And at that time, the meetings were held in the basement of the Customs House. So there's a lot of history. Also at that time, there was another member of the Planning Commission named Mr. Austin Beard. So maybe that's karma, I don't know, but it just all struck me at the time when y'all were talking about RL that he's even tied into the Customs House. I've been giving a lot of thought to it. That was designed as a government office building. It should continue to be so. I know that y'all have done your homework on this. You've had the property appraised. You're satisfied that the property is appraised at the contract price. I encourage y'all to go ahead and complete the transaction. It's a great location. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, that's our final speaker.
Thank you, sir. Move down to the consent agenda. We have 3 items on the consent agenda and have been approved via the agenda approval process. Procurement number 26-008, a roll-off truck for environmental services. Georgetown County Public Services and Environmental Services staff recommend the purchase of a Peterbilt 548 PX9. Bid number 26001, grass cutting and ground maintenance for Western Parks section. Staff recommends awarding the contract to W.J. Britton Landscaping LLC as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. And bid number 26-007, CTC Pavement Preservation Seal Coating, PO 45074. Staff recommends awarding the contract to Coastal Asphalt LLC as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder in the amount of $57,667.50. Move down to third reading of ordinances. Ordinance 2604 to rezone one parcel located at 5177 Berkeley Court and Rolls Inlet, totaling approximately 1 acre from forest agriculture to 1/2 acre residential. TMS number 41-0404-011-05-00 in Council District 6. Mr. Millwood, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is rezoning a parcel located on the east side of Berkeley Court in Merle's Inlet. There is one residential home and a garage accessory structure located on the 1 acre property. Some points to consider with this rezoning. The property owner would like to rezone or like to request a rezoning, from forest agriculture to R 1/2 acre to allow for the subdivision of his tract into 2 lots. The current residential use is permitted in both the FA and the R 1/2 acre zoning districts. Zoning on surrounding tracts include R 1/2 acre to the north, south, and the western sides, and FA to the southeast of it. Surrounding uses are all residential and/or vacant. Water and sewers provided by Georgetown County Water Sewer District at this site. Berkeley Court is a county-owned and maintained right-of-way. The future land use map designates this property as rural residential, or RR, on the future land use map. The rezoning request is not considered spot zoning due to the adjacent properties being zoned in the same way. The current future land use map does support residential uses, and therefore a change to the future land use map is not warranted for this zoning request. The Planning Commission held a public hearing for the request on January 15th, 2026, in which there was no public input for this particular item. The Planning Commission voted to approve the recommendation of the rezoning to council by a vote of 5-0 in favor. There have been no changes on this one since the second reading, and I'll try to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Millward. Are there any questions for Mr. Millward on ordinance 2604? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion on ordinance 2604 to rezone one parcel located at 5177 Berkeley Court in Merle's Inlet, totaling approximately 1 acre from forest agriculture to 1/2 acre residential. TMS number 41-0404-011-05-00 in District 6. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The ordinance passes. Move down to the approval of minutes, our regular council meeting minutes from February 10th, 2026. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Bishop Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The minutes are approved. We move down to we will have a legal briefing for an executive session. We'll move into executive session to receive legal counsel regarding negotiations related to proposed property acquisitions pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated 30-470A2 in accordance with the procedures of 30-4-70B. With the understanding that upon returning to open session, the council may take a vote on any matters discussed. To receive legal counsel regarding pending and potential litigation pursuant to SC Code annotated 30-4-70A in accordance with the procedures of 30-4-70B, with the understanding that upon returning to open session, the council may take a vote on matters discussed. Is there a motion on the floor to enter into executive session? So moved by Councilor Charlton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson or Newton. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? We are in executive session. We're back now from executive session. Please note that no actions or votes were taken during executive session. Is there a motion to return to open session?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Charlton. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Welcome back to open session. Is there any further business that needs to come before council at this time?
Yes, Chairman Elliott, I move to authorize approval of the settlement agreement for Mercury Funding versus Gregory Anderson et al.
Heard a motion from Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Newton. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, motion passes. Is there any further business to come before council at this time? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Charles. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, we are adjourned.